Point reviews. Alright, this is the Lord of the Rings Blu-ray review. Extended edition. And yes, it is awesome. Wouldn't you agree?
It was great.
It was quite awesome.
This is the first time we've got together and watched the extended edition back to back.
But this is the Lord of the Rings. I'll try and get through the box. Comes in like this. Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King. Extended edition on the bottom. The back, it has the little Rohan, I think that's the Rohan emblem. It opens up. Also, it's magnetized, sort of. It's got like a little magnet, I guess, in the box. Sort of like a, wouldn't you say, like a better quality cardboard of the box?
Yeah, well,
sort of
it's
like
cardboard and it's got a nice finish to it.
Yeah, it's got a real nice finish. And it's sort of, it's raised where the letters and the rings at.
They can't see what you're pointing at, bro.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. It's raised right here. And it's got a little mini map of Middle Earth. So that's pretty cool when you open up the box. And it's got, let's see, all three. Return of the King. It has the same 5 characters on all 3 of the movies, which is Gandalf, Aragorn, Frodo, Sam, and Arwen. There's the Two Towers cover. And there's the Fellowship of the Ring. Notice it's in a black finish instead of a blue. That's sort of different. It's got the little book. It's got like a little mini book inside it. It talks about, you know, pretty much what's on the disc. Yeah, I'm sorry. It talks about the chapters and such. The chapters and the appendices, which is a 2 special edition discs from the one of the previous, I think it's a limited edition box set. I'm not sure. Then it's got from when they made the book, the first extended edition in the books. It's got the map like it did on the older ones. Trying to get that in a better view. Can't get it all in there. Sorry. And here's the back of it. But it's the same thing. All 5 of them have books, the little mini books, just like that. Here, let me get to the disc part. And the book comes right in here, of course. But here's the Fellowship of the Ring, Part 1, Part 2. It is split up on 2 discs, and we'll talk about that later. The appendices, Part 1, the appendices, Part 2, and another special feature disc. And also, this, I know you. This has all 3 digital copies of the extended edition. I wanted to mention that. Getting on to the actual review of the box set, it was awesome. Especially you know we're both real big Lord of the Rings fans. You know. Yeah. There's not too many people who aren't big Lord of the Rings fans once you watch the movie.
If you actually take the time.
A
lot of times people get intimidated by
the time, but that wasn't us. But yeah, we watched all 3 of them back to back on Saturday.
We started at 8 in the morning.
Wow.
We started at 8 in the morning. That's actually pretty neat, I gotta admit. At 8 in the morning, and then we ended around 10 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like 9 something at night or something. It was closer to 10.
Move your head over a little bit.
Sorry, guys. What's up?
Yeah.
But so that was it. It was really epic. Yeah. I guess let's just get down to the actual review. I guess we'll talk about the sound first. And
we kind of have to because he has a system, the surround sound, was it DTS?
Yeah, I forgot. It's DT. It comes mastered in a DTS Master Audio 6.1. We watched it on standard DTS, not I don't have any high-end stuff, but we watched on the standard DTS channel frequency, and it was still amazing. I mean, dang, that sucker was awesome.
Yeah, well, I've heard surround sound before, but like this sound was so good, it was better than the movie theater.
Yeah, and I guess going out to mentioning surround sound, like it was completely like they used all the speakers.
It felt like you were in the movie. Like this was much better than the movie theaters. It was like if people were cheering, you felt like you were in the middle of the people.
Yeah, you want to cheer along.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because it's like it literally was like you were there, and like you said, it was literally like you were there.
Like you could hear a fireplace to your left, and you know you could hear like horses,
like the fire crackling.
Yeah, and arrows flying past your head, and
I mean, it was crazy. Like you really took. I mean, you know, now that you know, because I think I've heard so many more sounds I didn't see in the theaters.
Yeah, it was sounds that I heard I couldn't hear.
Yeah, but
like I didn't even know it was in the movie until.
It's almost. I sort of felt like I took it for granted. Like since seriously. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Because it was pretty cool, but So, but yeah, the sound was incredibly, like, you know, you'd hear arrows going past. I was like, I thought it was so cool. Spears going past your head and all sorts of crazy stuff like that. One of the highlights, I mean, the whole score, the whole sound was epic. But one of the highlights was the Nazgul, Return of the King especially. You heard like a high pitch scream sort of deal. And it really felt like it was right above your head.
It did. It really did. Like it lasted for like 30 seconds.
We had it turned up. By the way, if you do have like a surround sound system, you got to turn it up loud. And you have to have it pretty loud because I think it reaches better that way.
Like you got more immersed.
You definitely did. But that was sort of like the thing. Like it was all loud and stuff like that. Yeah, it was pretty crazy because it was so high pitched. Like I never thought you hear that it's like. Yeah. And you hear that really high pitch in the movies, but you really don't realize how.
I just responded to the sound.
Yeah, you really. I mean, it wasn't that the fact. I mean, we had it turned up loud, but it wasn't the fact that it was too loud. That it was too loud. It was the fact that it was so high pitched. It was intense. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I was having to cover my ears, not because it was loud, but literally because it was so high pitched. Like you really felt like
it was an amazing experience.
It was Nazgul scream. I do want to mention, especially like with the surround, sometimes when a movie uses all the speakers and stuff like that, I've noticed that even like when it try to make it feel more surround, sometimes it'll get clunky in the editing. It'll just be like, it's cool, but it's sort of, it doesn't transcend real good. But this movie flowed real well in the sound wise.
I thought that was my favorite part of the experience was the sound like.
Yeah, and it just flowed. Even in the quieter parts, you'd hear like the birds.
Right,
you hear all sorts of stuff. So it definitely used.
When it rained.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Helm's Deep battle. When it rained, oh my gosh, that just blew my mind because you had this whole battle and then it's like, shh, it was pretty crazy. But like even in like the Shire and Fellowship. I mean, like
every single movie.
Yeah, every single movie, the sound
was the highlight, basically.
Amazing. And then continuing on to the video, I like the video a lot. The video quality. It wasn't too polished. It was just right. Personally, I felt. I know. Speaking of Fellowship of the Ring. A lot of people, there you go. A lot of people said with this, before there was speculation that there was like a green tint put over the film that Peter Jackson did. They went back and restored it. And he had like a green tint. I mean, I didn't. I thought it was fine. I didn't notice it at all watching the movie. Did you?
I didn't really notice it.
If you paid, unless you like freeze it at a frame to look for the green thing, you weren't gonna find it. I think like everyone's saying that they weren't going to buy this because it wasn't the true. I was like, it will look amazing.
No, I mean, and this is just for me, but a lot of times when I see a movie on Blu-ray that already looked good, like I don't notice what the difference is. It's not to say it's not there. It's just it's hard for me to see it. It's easier for me on older movies that I know usually look bad, and then seeing it in Blu-ray. But I was fine with the way it looked. I thought it looked good.
I do want. Because like you said these movies have always looked good. But one of the some of the highlights were the Shire. It looked fantastic. It looked great. The light and everything of it just looked. It looked. It looked fantastic.
I agree with that.
And I really did like how sort of like. In the parts like when they were up in the mountains in the snow and such off of Fellowship, it just looked really. It looked really crisp and really white.
I guess when it was more colorful, I think the more colorful the environment, the more it really stood out.
Yeah, and that's sort of the thing. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Lord of the Rings movies are some of the most colorful movies at times, but then at other times they're sort of more darker and drab. But even still, you sort of have that mood with the Blu-rays.
I gotta admit that scene in the first movie with the creature, the
Belrog?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, not the Belrog part. The other part.
Troll?
The troll.
Yeah.
That part, I gotta admit, was as impressive as I've ever seen it.
Mm-hmm. And especially, like, I mean, all of them look great, and especially towards, like, you know, going towards the Return of the King, you have, like, the Nazguls and stuff, and they look pretty awesome, too.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, basically, I mean, it, you know, it wasn't going to look bad. I think you knew that going into it. It just looked really good. So, yeah, definitely. They all look good, and I know, like, a lot of people were complaining about the green tint. Go buy it. If you're worried about the green tint, you're like, oh, I'm not going to buy it because of that. That was a lot of speculation. I did go look at some of the images they had online, and I can see the green tint there, but during the movie you can't see it at all. You can tell it sort of has some of a darker tint, but I sort of like that though, because you can tell like some of the movies sort of even like during the like sort of the darker scenes, it sort of has like a more dark. But I like that personally. But it's still like when it's bright, it's completely bright. You know, it's not like it's dim. You know, it's daytime. It looks the sun shining in basically. But definitely, this is I didn't get to see I didn't get to see the theatrical. Neither did you. The theatrical Blu-rays.
No.
Yeah, I mean we were just waiting for the extended to come out, and it did, and it was amazing. So I forgot I didn't do this earlier, but there was the back of the box if any of y'all were wanting to look. There's trying to get it angled in. Horrible at this. There you go. But yeah, definitely buy this collection if you're a Lord of the Rings fan. I mean, this is it's really just something crazy.
And they have all of the special features and stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, you would know more detail
I
than
forgot
I
to
would
mention
about
that.
it. But like, if it's ever been on any other release,
any previous release of the Lord of the Rings,
it's on here.
Yeah, which is even though they didn't add anything new, it's definitely nice for the say you didn't go back and buy one, and you had one of them, and you just felt like you didn't. If you go back and buy this, you'll have every single thing, and it's sort of nice to have it all in just like one final package. So that's really nice, and like it's just awesome.
Oh, and also the other, because this one was only one of two possible choices. There was the other one that also had the was it like chess pieces or something like that, or collectors. It was like 6 pieces to it. And,
it was only at Best Buy.
It was only at Best Buy. And that was neat.
But no, for real, because we don't have too much time left. But it was only at Best Buy. It had like 6 sort of like glass chess pieces, but it had like a color. They look really good. Like so, if you do go to your local Best Buy, look for it. Right now, I'm not sure if the sale's still going on, but when we got this set was $70, and the other set was
$119.
No, that's how much the actual price was. It was on sale for $100. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
right.
It was on sale for $100, and it's a pretty nice collection. And then I heard that the pieces I read on a review, it comes with its own carrying box, but we don't have too much time, so I'm going to go ahead and give my final thing. Just because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and the first movie is probably my favorite movie of all time, and the third one's probably my second favorite of all time. But I'm going to go ahead and give this 6 out of 5 just because I thought I know it's sort of crazy, but it really does. It holds up to, like, it's over what I expected personally.
Yeah.
So sound, video, and everything, and just the whole presentation of the box set, it just really captured.
I kind of feel like if you have the sound system for it, like the experience is so much better with the sound. So I would give it a 5 out of 5. If you have a system already in place and everything. If not, I would give it a 4 out of 5. So I average it out to overall 4.5.
Well, that's it. Like the thing says, subscribe and comment.
So we have some helpers today. Aaron and Jonathan.
Yeah. But dropping a name, youtube.com/thejgenuine. Yeah. Go to his channel. So. The J Genuine. Thank you.
Beat up.
And my axe. Adios. You shall not pass.